calm outside, they said. It's so peaceful. I think we're gonna relocate. We're gonna relocate. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Taylor and I post all sorts of fitness and lifestyle videos. So if that's what you want to see in your subscription box, you should hit the subscribe button down below. This week's video is going to be a compilation of some of my favorite things from spring. So I've got fashion, beauty, food, some workout equipment. It's all in there. So we're gonna dive into that. Starting with fashion. So the first thing on my list are the Ava trackies from Tala. So they're like they're just pants. They've got a nice little clean leg. These are the like sky blue color. So it's like this really pretty blue gray. And they're like this like really lightweight thin material. They are just so incredibly comfortable. Like I was like not expecting to love these as much as I do, but I'm obsessed and I want them in as many colors as I can get my hands on, basically. And the second item is also a pair of sweatpants, because what else am I wearing at this point? Let's be real. So these are from I Am Gia, and they are these sweatpants, and they've got this big old, they're black, and they've got this big old red snake all the way down the left leg, just wrapping around, and I am like in love with these. Basically, I found these on their website at one point and they were out of stock, and I was so upset because everything about this just like screams my aesthetic in like neon lighting. So I was distraught that I could not find these anywhere, and then they randomly restocked them, and so I immediately, like full on, like no second thoughts, immediately just went and clicked buy. I was like, I need these in my life and I regret nothing. They are gorgeous, and yeah, I'm wearing a lot of sweatpants right now, so they're getting put to good use. So I don't feel any regret for this impulse purchase whatsoever. That's actually it for fashion. It's just 2 pairs of sweatpants, so that tells you exactly what I've been wearing since this whole thing started, basically. So that's my spring in a nutshell. Moving on to beauty. So I've gotten so into skincare. I've been binge watching a bunch of videos. I've just realized my camera's not entirely straight and it's gonna bug me. I've gotten so into like binge watching like skincare people on YouTube. So that has been a lot of fun. I also have a new favorite mask, and it is from Ren Clean Skincare. It is the Clarimat Invisible Pores Detox Mask, and I use this like once a week, and my skin just feels so good afterwards. Like it really feels like it has, you know, everything's like tighter. I mean, it does what it's saying too. Like my pores look tiny afterwards. I'm super impressed with it. The next beauty favorite is another skincare thing. It is the Drunk Elephant D Bronzy Drops. Basically what they are is they're what they say, they're bronzing drops, and you mix them in with like your lotion, and they just make everything a little bit more bronzed and glowy. And I really like this I am not in kind of the habit of wearing a lot of makeup recently. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I just don't feel like I put on a full face of makeup to go to the office, but when I'm just doing Zoom calls, I don't feel the need to put on a full face of makeup. I don't know why there's a distinction there, but there is. And so I'm not usually wearing makeup, and I'm usually a good bit darker here. Clearly I'm not right now. I'm like very pale and I need to put more self tanner on, but usually I have self tanner on my body and then not on my face. And so then if I don't have a full face of makeup on, which right now, once again, I'm darker, like this is like it, you can tell how much the self tanner normally does to, you know, make this match that. Yeah, need to fix that. Anyways, but when I normally have on self tanner, then I end up with the opposite problem where my body is very tan and my face is still very white because I don't put self tanner on my face because it makes me break out. So these guys are great, and I just mix them in with my lotion, and they just, you know, give my skin a little bit of a bronzy glow, so I'm a little bit more matched on the two parts of my body. Always a good thing. The last beauty item is the Fenty Beauty Gloss in Diamond Milk. And yeah, I am not usually a lip gloss person. Like, I have been very into like the matte lip thing for a long time, and that has been like all I wore. And then I got this stuff, and it's really pretty and sparkly and shiny, and I'm kind of digging the glossy look. So I'm getting back into lip gloss apparently. So, and I like that one because you can like lay, obviously it's clear, so you can just layer it over anything or just wear it on its own, and it's great. Moving on into food products. The first one are the Alani Nu protein bars. So these are like relatively new. I've used Alani Nu for all of my supplements for a while now. And then they drop protein bars, and so I've got some of them. I bought two flavors. I got the fruity cereal and the birthday cake, or confetti cake. They're the same names as their protein powders, and they're really good. So I actually don't like the fruity cereal protein powder. It's like I know everyone that I like see on the internet loves it. It's not my favorite for some reason, but the protein bar version of it is so good. Like, I love it more than I like the confetti cake, and the confetti cake is what I get my protein powder in. So different, you know, they switched. And I am a big fan. I like them a lot. So highly recommend getting your hands on those. The next one is not as tasty, but it is this Amazing Grass green superfood. Basically, for a while I was really into doing celery juice first thing in the morning. Not because I think it's, you know, some like major cure-all, the way that certain like people market it as. I don't think it's like this amazing cure-all, but I do think, you know, it's vegetables. And for some reason, first thing in the morning, that like wakes me up. And so I did celery juice for a while, and then it's been a lot like more inconvenient to get my hands on. I got so dark all of a sudden. It's a lot more inconvenient to get my hands on like fresh celery juice constantly. So this has been great as far as like, it's a powdered form, and it's obviously got way more than celery. Actually, I don't even know if it has celery in it. It has so many other things. It has wheatgrass and barley grass and alfalfa and spinach and spirulina and chlorella, and basically it does the same sort of thing where it's just this really, really cold green drink, and it just kind of wakes me up like in a way that caffeine doesn't affect me as much as it used to. And so caffeine doesn't really wake me up, but this stuff does. So I still have a cup of coffee, but that's more just for the vibe of it rather than actually waking me up. So I really like having that stuff first thing in the morning. It does not taste great. Like, if you're looking for like greens that taste good, don't recommend. If you're looking for like quality product, that works. I'm sure you could also mix it into things, and it would be great. Like, you could like throw it into a smoothie and it would just like slide right under the radar. Like, it would be great. But I'm not like that, so I just drink it straight and just kind of chug it, and then, you know, it's done. It's done. I've had my serving of greens. So that's that. And then another part of my morning ritual is I didn't mean to do that, but ritual vitamins. So that is the second part of it. Is I always do these little vitamins, and they're super well formulated. They smell super minty, which is, that's a weird thing to be like, I like the smell of vitamins, but like, they smell great, and they taste kind of minty too, which is nice. They don't taste bad, but basically they're just, you know, really well formulated. I was doing Care Of for a while, which are like the little packs, and you had to like pick out which vitamins you wanted, and it's great, but I just wanted something that did all the heavy lifting for me. And so it's just like well created as far as like what specific vitamins like people tend to be lacking, which just I think is a better thing for me than just, you know, taking like 2 different supplements or 3 different supplements in a pack. So yeah, that's my last little, I call that food. I don't really know where that falls on like the food, not food spectrum. the final thing, final category, I suppose, is fitnessy stuff. And so the first one is this long band, and so this is from band store, whatever it's called. And I mean, I've talked about their resistance bands a decent amount. I love them to death. And I just keep getting more. But this one, I bought the long one a while ago and I didn't use it that much when I was in the gym all the time. It just wasn't like the first thing I reached for ever. And then I have been, you know, not in a gym and having to get really creative with working out in my apartment and trying to find ways to add weight to my workouts without, you know, actual weights. And this guy is so freaking useful. There are a couple of workouts on my Instagram page that I just used this pretty much exclusively, or just threw it into another workout, and it's great. It's a great little thing to have. So highly recommend. If you've got a short band, get yourself a long one too. They're wonderful and very versatile. So I've done a lot with them. And the last thing is this Gaia yoga mat. So it's a pretty inexpensive one. It is like $30 on Amazon, so it's pretty inexpensive as far as yoga mats go. Like, they're like wildly ranging in prices. Anyways, got this bad boy for $30 on Amazon, and it is great. They are a little slippery at first, but as soon as you like cleaned them a couple of times, I haven't had any issues since. So working out in a tiny apartment that is all carpet, like, you need a mat, especially if you're gonna like lay down on the ground, especially with my cats, because they shed a lot. So there's usually, if I haven't vacuumed in the past 2 hours, there's cat hair on the ground. So yeah, that necessitates a mat. And so this mat has gotten more use. I mean, obviously I've used it for yoga classes before, but this mat has gotten more use in the past 2 months than it has ever gotten, and it is great. So highly recommend it. It's a little, it's sticky, but it works. It does what it's meant to do, and for the price, it can't be beat. So, and that is it. That is, you know, my spring encapsulated into 10 products. So that's that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys next week for next week's video.